Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk with Casey and Mike. We appreciate you guys coming and joining us tonight. We again there. Excuse me. This is our discussion, as I said before. This belongs to all of us. This is not just Casey and Mike. We value the feedback that we get during the show and the feedback that we get afterwards, because we're here to learn and we're here to try and do better and to try and talk to each other. Because Casey and I are talking, but we learn a lot from everyone, and we appreciate any feedback that we get from you guys. And so tonight, well, first of all, I'll say this. Usually beforehand, Casey and I know the topic, but Casey didn't ask like, "Oh, so what you got to say?" So yeah, so he's probably gonna be a little surprised with some of this stuff. Because what I want to say is, y'all, we're talking about cultural differences tonight, and so we are going to be talking about things that people think about other races and it is not 100% for everyone. It is not. It is going to be, we're going to say what cliches that are out there. And so we're not here to offend, but we are going to talk about some things that people might find offensive, or people might find, that's not appropriate to say, but we're not here to be like shock jock. These are things that a lot of people think that they don't talk about, that they do talk about with their family. And so there are some things that we're going to talk just in general, because this topic, cultural differences, can go many different places. So we are going to talk about, Black people, white people, Asian people, Middle Eastern, Indian, and so on and so forth, and the differences that we have between one another. And just because someone say, "Oh, Black people season their food, white people don't season their food," and all that, it's all kinds of different things, and so we might hit some things where like, "Oh, well, that's not politically correct." Well, we're going to kind of push that to the side, because we want to have a real conversation about what other people think, about their other cultures. And of course, Casey and I are Black men, so a lot of our stuff is going to come from our experiences and things of that nature. But there are some things that are out there that I want to bring up, because I searched a couple of things, and we'll get into it, about how cultures accept other people or marrying into other cultures and things of that nature. I have a white son-in-law, and he and I have straight talks, and we talk about things. So this is about us talking about real stuff, and we are going to talk about Black and white marriage and athletes and so on and so forth. So before I get into it, I want to know what you got going on, cuz. What you think?
There's so many things to unwrap with the cultural differences. I know we're gonna dive into some stuff that I was not expecting. We're gonna let it rip though.
Okay.
I just find it funny how so many people um, view the black race and don't understand. Um, I guess a lot of the comments that we perceive to be racist comments, it's just ignorance, and not to say ignorant in a way that they're stupid or they're dumb. They're just ignorant to the level of sensitivity of some of the things that they bring up. I was at a store the other day, and a gentleman walked up to me, and we just start talking about the Gators, just talking about the Gators. We both Gator fans, and we're talking about this tournament coming up. We're talking about the SEC tournament that they just got bounced out of, and what a awesome season they're having. And the gentleman proceeded to say, um, but I think they'll probably end up having some trouble with those black teams. Right? The, the teams that wear black teams. Okay, so explain to me what trouble they're going to have with black teams. Um, and I mean, he continued to have the conversation without realizing. his statement was racist in so many ways. But I gave him grace. I gave him grace because I could tell he didn't realize it. And at the end of our conversation, we had a little chat.
Good,
At
good.
the end of the Gator conversation, we had a little chat, and he proceeded. And that's why I say I gave him grace because I could tell he didn't really understand. He was
Mhm.
older, of course. He was older.
Right.
But when we had the discussion as we were walking to the checkout, he apologized like 6 times. Like I'm so sorry that
Okay.
I didn't realize it. It's like, no, I understood what you meant, but the fact that you had to say that, um, and the
Yeah.
fact that that's how it correlates with you, a black team.
Yeah.
What what he really wanted to say was a fast team, an athletic team,
Yeah.
teams that guys that multiple guys that can really jump and
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so those are black teams. Let me educate you just a little. But it was a great conversation. Then our conversation steered toward God. It was very, very brief interaction, but it was monumental
Hmm.
as far as this is where we are. This is what people, you
Yeah.
know, this is our country. This is our country.
Yeah.
And it's blacks and it's whites. And if we're ever going to get away from that, we have to, get away from the color aspect when it comes to not get away from the color aspect to our own people or somebody else's people, but the color aspect when we're having discussions, just like applications. Like, why is it important whether I'm white, black, Asian, whatever my ethnicity? Why is that on the application?
Yeah.
If it's not,
Tanya and I talked about that today because I
why?
don't know what the topic was, and she said something along the lines. I didn't see this anywhere where she said that they're going to start putting mixed on there, just mixed, and I'm like, like, what is the purpose? Like, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of putting that on the application? Because right when you put it on, there is a perception when people see it. I'm going through resumes. I say, oh, ethnicity, preconceived notion. It's automatic. Whatever
Yeah,
experiences you had, whatever, it's going to pop up because you see what color they are. Oh,
yeah,
this is a black person. Oh, that's an Indian person. Oh, that's this. Oh, I see. It is automatic. And if you
yeah,
don't check anything, if you don't put nothing, because it's up, it, it's automatic. That's a
yeah,
black person. It
yeah,
just it is just it's just like that. And I have a
yeah.
story. Well, you were able to do something with yours, and you were able to talk to them, and you guys have a positive conversation. I we got to be careful. I worked at a job where my director was a white man, and he went and did the 23andMe or whatever the deal was, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And he was excited to get it back, and he proceeded to tell me, he said, even if it's a 0.01% that I'm black, I'm going to come in with a lot of different colors and this on and like a dashiki. He said something like that. Cause I kid you not, and I'm floored. I'm floored. There's some other stuff that go on with that story, that final outcome, but he said it and just kept on trucking. Now he wasn't old enough to have not known. He was old, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You got now, as I've said before, I I've worked in a lot of places where I was the only black man there. And
Right.
so you have one of the two extremes. You have people who are, let me be real careful. And then you have people who are, whatever. I mean, I'm just gonna say whatever I want to,
Right.
and it's just like that. But when he said that, I was like, you know what? And that wasn't one of them things where I gave grace. He was, and
Hmm.
I knew who he was. I knew what he was. I just didn't know that he was that ignorant to take it to that point. I was like, oh, and that
Right.
caused a whole bunch of things. But I digress. Um, oh, that thing is brought. Oh, that brought me back. Okay, so so what is interesting about those things that people say? Um, and they just fly off the cuff and just say certain things. And I will say this. If I feel, let's say I'm talking to somebody who's 70, 80, and it's a white person or the whatever, and I feel that you aren't trying to be whatever, it's just what you've known and just what you whatever, there's grace given there. I can give grace there,
Right.
because that's how you grew up, that's what you're accustomed to, and so on and so forth. But I don't want to go around that rabbit hole too much because it'll make me all whatever. But one subject that I wanted to bring up was about, and I have some stuff written down. So I kind of have it written down. I have black people, white people, Middle Eastern, Asian, so on and so forth. And so up under one of, and we can't talk about this long because we'll go down the rabbit hole. Within our own race, black, we have colorism, where if you dark skin, you're so on and so forth. And I've heard some horrible stories about people, like I was dark skinned, and so or I heard a lot of light skinned women. My parents told me I can't bring home a dark dude. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so those stories I've heard, and I've heard it constantly. So I went to, white people. I don't know if that's in their culture. I don't know if it is. I know that it is with Indians. Indians, they have it. The darker your skin, because dark bad, fair skin, white good.
Right.
So Middle Eastern, yeah, white, no. Asian, and again, guys, we're black, and so we know more about that. So we don't exactly know about our life experiences and what we've seen and what we know. So I think it's interesting that the people who are brown skinned and people of color, we seem to have this cultural thing where we tend to hold someone down, or there's a class, the lighter you are, the better you are, the darker you are, the whatever you are. And so that's the first thing I wanted to bring up. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, that difference is also in abundance. You have people that tend to look down, your own people tend to look down on darker colored family members and friends. It's like there's an acceptance when you're brighter, and it makes no sense whatsoever.
None.
You got to think about culturally when you look at the word black, how it's defined. If you go and you look back, everything about the word black is a negative,
right?
Dark,
and
evil.
But if it's dark, the dark is evil,
right?
Yep.
And that was adopted basically based off of one man that wanted to give that definition, and everybody ran with it. And then white was, of course, the total opposite. White was pure. It was the opposite of darkness. It was, all of these things. And we tend to see, and I've seen some of our very own people treat others that are fair skinned better.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like there's some kind of like, what do you think you're gonna do by treating that person better? What are you gonna gain from it?
Right.
What are you going to gain from it? And it's there, and I don't even think people know it. Growing up, it used to be such a deal to me when I would see people in the company of another race totally flip the script. Like everything about them changes. Their posture changes. Their voice changes.
Yes.
They start putting all of the alphabet together when they say different words. It's like there's a way to be correct in your grammar.
Yeah.
Because we're all taught the same thing. We're all taught the same words. We're all taught the same letters. We're all taught how you pronounce words, from a very young age.
Yeah.
But that cultural shift, when it's being driven in some areas and not being so driven in other areas, that doesn't mean you don't know how to use the words. That doesn't mean you don't know what the words mean. A lot of times, it's just, I almost think, it's best to be quiet and let people not know what you know.
That's
I love it.
That's
I
right.
love it because I can be in the midst of so much and people not know what I know about a situation because I don't insert myself.
Right.
Um, and
Right.
some things are very intriguing, and therefore, I'll jump in and just not to offer my wisdom or anything, but just to get in the conversation for a moment, and I'm back out,
Yeah.
and I'm back out. But when we see our own people do it,
Yeah.
we're the only race that is a multicolored race.
That is interesting. You're right.
What
You're right.
and
You're
I
right.
and I hate always saying white, black, Asian, this and that,
Right.
but it is what it is. But
Right.
white people are one color.
Yeah.
They are one color. Of course, unless something
They
happens
tan.
to them,
Right.
they get a
Right.
tan
Absolutely.
or they get bruised or but we are literally multicolored. We come in every shade,
Yes, we
and
do.
it's
Interesting.
beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to see. I saw a model the other day that was on a commercial. I can't remember, but she was this color,
Yeah. I think I know who you're talking about.
but it was stunning the
Yeah.
way she looked, and it's like, wow, we have so many different. I mean, you can go all the way to I don't know who is the brightest, black person that whatever.
Michelle Williams was one.
You can say Michelle Williams. You can say
Yeah.
Michelle Williams all the way down to this young lady. I don't know her name, but all of the chocolate, all of the
Right.
tan,
Right.
all of the
Right.
all of it. It's just and it's a beautiful thing. And I think if us as people will learn to just get to know people, quit having these preconceived notions
Yep.
about black people, about white people, about Asian people, about Indian people, but just get to know people, you will find out that the heart is
Yes.
so much better than
Yes.
what you see on the outside. Because at the end of the day, it's true. When you cut us, we all bleed the same.
Right.
If you ever need a blood transfusion, guess what? You ain't gonna know what color the person is you're getting the blood from.
Right.
So why is it such a big ordeal when it comes to how we interact, how we view people when we talked about applications?
Right.
Like when I see an application, I'm looking at their work history. What have they done in their work history? Then you have interviews and you tend to get a feel for certain people, and there are other things, other factors that are involved
Right.
that help promote a person over another person. But it's all about what I see from a person,
Yep.
never about their skin color. And you know, our people, we get to shaft so much. We get to shaft so much. It's
Yeah.
sad
We
because
do. We
these jobs are missing out on great people,
yeah,
great minds.
that is absolutely right. You just said a bunch of positive things, and I hate to come in with this, but I'm going to read
Go
something
ahead.
to you. I'm
Mhm.
getting ready to read something to everybody.
Right.
This is something I looked up I did some research. So the general black male marriage rates. It says around 86 to 88% of black men in the U.S. marry black women. Uh, the interracial marriage data, according to 2021 data, about 15% of married men had spouses of other races, with approximately 8% married to white women. All right, so here's the thing. High-profile athletes. While specific aggregate up-to-date data for all professional athletes is not explicitly cited in the search results, a census done in 2025 reported that 42% of black NBA players are married to white women. And so I went from in the NBA, and I'm sure it's going to be NFL and so on and so forth, almost 40+% are married to white women, 8% regularly, regular people, regular black men are
Right.
8% married to white women. So I went and I looked up to see, well, what's the opposite? What's the opposite? White men in the NBA and white men in the NFL. I wanted to see what the thing said. Oh, we don't look at
Or they
that.
don't
They
keep
don't
that percentage.
they don't have that data. They don't
Yeah.
have that data.
Yeah.
Do you know why they don't have that data? Because it's probably negligible. So when we talk about ourselves, when we talk about within our culture, you have athletes, and this is part of the thing that I talked about in the beginning. Part of our deal is, okay, and the reason I brought them up is because, okay, they're millionaires, but so on and so forth. They have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So for whatever reason, something within us believes that I've made it.
Right.
So instead of going from 8%, when I have money and you have status, it goes to 42% because there is something within us. And I don't want to say there are many other factors, many other factors, but there's something inside of us that's like, oh, remember you're saying, oh, I've made it. I've made it. So I'm going to show you I've made it by marrying someone outside of my race. And so, and I think it goes back to, dark skin worked in the field, light skin were the housemaids, and so on and so forth. When you want to go back to that, and that might have something to do with it. But there is this psychological thing that is within it. And as far as the Black culture goes, from my experience, it is usually more accepting for a Black person to bring in someone of another ethnicity because, I guess it's just whatever. But when you turn that around, the percentages go so much lower. And I think there is this thing that we have that is white is right, Black is bad. But and so we have a tendency to go out and say, you know what, I've made it. Let me show you how I made it. Well, look at this. And then that's when you start doing the classes. Like I know the Indian, by the way, I had an Indian friend and he hates when you say, oh, Middle Eastern people, Indian people there. No, never say that.
Right.
Indian people are from India, Middle Eastern, and so on and so forth. So I'm not trying to be whatever, but they have the class system too. As I was saying, the darker you are, the lower class you are. And so I got what I was saying because so I got kind of
no. It's fine. No, I want to engage with the onlookers a little bit. We have Vaughn Patrick. What's up? Because he said the purpose is to deny the true American access to resources. That's in depth. There's a lot to unwrap right there. The purpose is to deny the true American access to resources. A lot of people don't understand what the Black race, the Black culture really stems from. And the more you research, the more you will find if we could know the truth and not what's taught here in this country, it'll be oh my gosh. I mean, just for the purpose of encouragement, for the very purpose of encouragement, so that people will know I came from this.
Yep.
This is what I can learn your history.
But anyway, the thing is, you have this movement where in Florida, stop teaching about it. We don't want you all to learn about that stuff. There's a reason, because if you kill my history, you think you're going to kill me. So we're not going to talk about it because we don't want whomever to feel bad because they did bad. You beat them, you raped them, you killed them, you did all these things, but you don't want to talk about it. You want to talk about the, Christopher Columbus discovering whatever. No, he didn't. Native Americans were here. You want to talk about all these different things. Thanksgiving, when they landed, the pilgrims came and what? No. And so you want to talk about those things, but you want to take away the Malcolm X, and let's not talk about those things. You want to talk about when we would get together and we'll build these communities and we'll be successful, and then there was a massacre. Do you know how many massacres of Black communities there have been in the U.S.? But we don't want to talk about those things because you say, okay. Well, you guys have yours. Well, when we tried to have ours, you didn't.
You know why? Know why? Because when Black people do this,
it's a threat.
Not only is it a threat, it's a real power. No matter what power, what direction you come from,
Yeah.
there's an economical power. Look at Target. Look at Target.
Yep. Yep.
We are outnumbered in the population, but we outspend those that
Oh,
outnumber us.
oh, absolutely. Oh,
So when our dollars stop going to the frivolous things in life,
yep.
companies lose money, they close,
Right.
they shut down. And I'm
Yep.
talking about big companies. Target is huge.
Yep.
Target is huge. Now they're throwing money into the black community.
Yep.
It shouldn't have taken that. Keep your money. It shouldn't have taken that.
Right.
And I heard Pastor Jamal Bryant, some people like him, I don't care for him. But I heard him come out and say, you know, we're going to stop and I'm paraphrasing right now because it's not verbatim. But anyway, we're going to stop boycotting Target. That's your call. You take that route.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying they bought you out. I'm not saying that because I know people have said he's been bought this and that and the other. But there's a principle behind standing firm.
That's right.
The moment you get soft, and if we can ever just stick together,
Right.
we're unstoppable, and they know that. So
And it's
when we had Black Wall Street, when we stuck to our own, when we had our own movie theaters, when we had our own banks, when we had our own cities, they came in
Right.
and they burned it down. And I'm saying they, as in white people, not all white people. I love, love everybody. But
Right.
there are some heathens and some evil people in every race.
Right.
And that's what I can't stand. I can't stand my people when they act like the devil.
Right.
Keep it moving.
We absolutely got them. And we absolutely have them. We absolutely do. But because us trying to get together is like, it's crazy. And you know what? You didn't start putting money into the black community until it started hitting the bottom line. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna remove the DEI. We're gonna no, that's not
Right.
So we know how you feel. We know how you feel, but now you're gonna change your policy. You still feel the same. You feel the same, but you know what? Yeah, you're hitting the bottom line. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start doing these things. Well, no, because we already know how you feel. Just like in the past, whatever years, I'm not going to get into it. I know how a lot of people feel now. I know how they feel about me. I know. I know that that deep-seated hate, that deep-seated whatever it is that has risen out of you. I know now.
But you know what?
And it's not just me. And it's not just me. It's Hispanic people. It is Asian. It's like I know now.
Yeah.
And so I'm good.
I love it. I love it. I love engaging with somebody who I know don't like me.
They don't know what to do.
I really do. I really do, because you know I know the purpose that I have. I know the purpose that I have. I can only speak for me. When you're driven by hate for no reason other than that person is black, or that person speaks Spanish, or that person is crippled, or that person is yada yada, whatever. When you're driven by that, first of all, you're very ignorant.
Yeah.
You're very ignorant. You're a very simple, small-minded person. Very small-minded.
Yeah.
I could care less if you have billions of dollars. A lot of people think because you're wealthy that you're smart. We already
proven.
Let me engage a little more with some of the audience.
Okay.
Mr. Norris Anderson. No. Mr. Norris Anderson said Wesley Snipes and Morris Chestnut, they made dark acceptable. They brought it. They brought their game, man. They brought their game. They did their thing back in the 90s. Where are all those movies? I guess, you know, we still, I don't know. I don't know. But when you talk about cultural differences, my mind goes to, think about School Days. This is a movie made by one of the best movie makers, black movie makers, that of our time, Wesley Snipes. School, I believe it was School Days. I
Yes.
think it was. I think
Yes.
it was School
Right.
Days when you had the they were calling them jigaboos, and then you had the
That's
bright.
right.
I can't remember, but then my mind goes to another movie um, called The Outsiders. This was when a lot of the Hollywood actors were just up and coming. Patrick Swayze and you know what's the man name? Do all of the I can't even think of all the name. But anyway, in that movie they had the greasers and they had the socials. You
Hmm.
know, there's always a clash because you're different. We're
Yeah.
talking from a black perspective because we're black. But America, we have got to change. We
Right.
have got to change if we ever expect to be a real force with these. I ain't talking about going in and having these crazy, stupid wars and taking stuff by force and trying to, manipulate the economy. But I'm talking about standing firm, America first, whatever that means.
Hmm.
America first to me is God first. And I
Hmm.
ain't talking about these evangelical Christian type. I'm talking about our real Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Because if you serve him, you love thy neighbor as thyself. He didn't say love thy white neighbor. He didn't say love thy rich neighbor. He didn't say love thy influential neighbor. He said love thy neighbor as thyself. That doesn't mean the house that's next door. That means anyone that's around me.
Every country.
So
Every country, and that whole God bless USA. It's I hate that. I can't stand it because you have people in China and in what who are hurting and who are so when I pray, I was like, oh Lord God bless this country. Are you kidding me? There
yeah,
are people that are hurting. There are people who are starving. There are people
right.
all on this earth who are under I don't even know what the technical term is, but that is what it's about. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with
Mhm.
you. It's I don't know how it could ever possibly happen because to do that, you would have to have people who are believers, people who are in charge. So it's just highly unlikely. I mean, even the
It
Bible tells
won't.
you that it's not going to happen.
It'll never go away.
Right, right.
It'll never go away. And the sad part to me is that it takes disaster for us to even
That
emulate togetherness,
that
for us to even emulate it, for us to look like we're together. It took 9/11 for America to,
yep. That's right.
but a week later,
That's right. That's right. And you know why that'll never change? That it'll never change because my child have Jordans and your child have Pro Wings. And when we go to school, my stuff is better than yours, and you want to make mention of it. And I know that sounds like a small thing, but as long as you have people who are going to say, I'm better than you because I have this or I have that, and I don't really know who you are, that just gets it just grows and grows and grows until you get dictators who think that my country's better than your country. And so those small little things thinking that we're better and thinking we're the class system because you're darker than me. You're
it,
dark. I'm
it
light, and so
it'll
understand.
never change until there's a heart change, and there will
Yes,
never be 100% of a heart change because a child doesn't know he's better because he has Jordans. A
yeah,
child knows he's better because he's taught that he's better.
that's right. That is exact.
Other children are taught to be accepted.
Yep.
Do what you
Right.
can to be accepted. Work
Right.
hard so you can be accepted, while
Right.
other children are being taught you're better, but
Yep.
they don't understand that it's not like that. You just don't say it. But if you say it enough to yourself, you'll think it. But
Yeah.
if a child says, enough to himself, I heard somebody say, Yankee are the Northerners, the people that were from up north, and they call them now. Of course, that all comes from the war,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Yankees and the rebels.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. Um,
Oh,
but
Mrs. Jones.
huh?
So Charity Jones. Charity Jones.
Hmm.
Charity. I ain't trying to
Go
say
ahead.
think Cherry Jones is a white lady, right? And she's your okay. I want to read what she said. I haven't even read it all, but from her perspective, I'll say I have always embraced all parts of my and our children's heritage in all aspects. I will never categorize my children by putting them in the box as biracial. I like that. Okay, I'm going. That is the biggest misconception. My children are multi, as in many, and in no specific order: Italian, Native American, Black, and German. Spring, what is that?
Lineage,
and Appalachian, Cherokee, and Black. We celebrate all races and ethnic groups. My children inherit strong genetic melanin from both parents' heritage. Many people, I don't see the rest of it, cuz.
Yeah, I don't think it. I don't think it came.
My wife and I talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say strong. Thank you, ma'am. So my daughter's Black, my son-in-law is white, and so when they're born, if I'm not mistaken, they used to say if you have 1/16 Black blood in you're considered Black. Is that right? 1/16 or something like that?
I believe that's it. I can't say factually, but I believe that's it.
So you're going to take this child who has a white mother or white father, Black mother, Black father, whatever it is, and then bam, they are half of each. But since you have something that you're Black, what if no? I'm half white. I'm half white. I understand what you're saying, but you're Black. That's child. It's up to them to make. And we just put people in these. We just put people in these categories so we know who to put down. I have to have the ability to put you somewhere so I know who you are, so I can treat you a certain way. So that's why on the applications I have Black, white, Hispanic, Asian specific, or whatever Pacific. So I have to know where I can put you even before you have a chance, before I get to know you.
Yeah, there's a box that you get put in, right?
So it's just because I know we had 37 minutes and I've been talking a lot, but
no, man, but it's been good, and this is what we're here for. Let's talk. Let's talk. So we appreciate everybody for chiming in. We appreciate all the comments, all the texts. I was getting notifications while we were on. It's great to just share and get these thoughts out, and whatever it is. Again, what we ask you to do is to text us, email us at let's talk CaseyMike@gmail.com. Of course, you can go to our page and view older videos. I had someone ask me today about a conversation we had weeks ago. So you can go to our YouTube channel, let's talk CaseyMike.com. Also our Facebook page, let's talk CaseyMike.com. I mean, Facebook page, whatever that is. And we just keep it moving, man. Y'all send us your thoughts. Y'all send us your comments, and we love you. Peace.
Peace out. Love you guys. And we love everybody. We really do. So we really do. I know we got
we out. Stop. We out.
Love y'all.